Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Flight Deck Captain Wilson speaking. Firstly, on behalf of all our crew, I'd like to welcome you on board this Flawless 195 World Tour service from Prague to Bern. This is flight 033 of 209. If this is your first flight with us today, then we do advise that you watch the route explainer video before you take to your seats. However, if you are a returning viewer, then we do recommend that you subscribe to the channel before departing the aircraft today. We should be clear to taxi out in the next few minutes for a departure time of 11:45 a.m. and the total flight time is expected to be around an hour. Maybe just over an hour, could be as up to an hour and 10 minutes heading southwest to Bern. So a bit more of a lengthy flight today by European standards. Obviously, once we get into Africa, an hour will be probably as short as it gets. But yeah, as of right now, it's a flight to get our teeth into because we've had 15-minute flights, 20-minute flights, 9-minute flights, not a lot over the half an hour mark. So it gives us a chance to get up to cruising altitude. And it'll be our first look at the Alps as well as we head south towards Switzerland. It'll be the first look at the Alps. And then, as I said before, when we landed here last night, when it looked like doomsday, the World Tour starts to get very interesting once we land in Bern. From there, we head over to a tiny run strip in the Swiss mountains to the east called Flugplatz Mollis, and from there we take a helicopter into Liechtenstein, and then back we come to Flugplatz Mollis, then take the Airbus to Rimini, Italy, before getting another helicopter into San Marino. So it starts becoming a little bit, we get all the excursion flights coming in, helicopters coming in once we get to Switzerland. So yeah, we're on the cusp of a very interesting leg of the World Tour. The next sort of 15 flights or so this World Tour is going to be little helicopter excursions, little Airbus A320 excursions to runways and things that I wouldn't normally be landing at. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting leg over the next week or so, getting through some of these harder to reach countries such as Liechtenstein, San Marino, Monaco, Andorra, Vatican City. Just trying to tick those off before heading to Madrid, probably in a couple of weeks' time. And then from there, it's Lisbon, Portugal, and then into Northern Africa. So we're nearly done with Europe, unbelievably, about 3 weeks into the tour. But I say, I always wanted to get through Europe pretty quickly. That was always going to be the idea. I'm always going to, pardon the pun, fly through Europe. But then I think once we get into Africa, it'll be new ground for me. In the World Tour, I've had many attempts at doing this. Never got as far as Africa. So once we start getting to Africa, I'll then settle down and start to enjoy it more. For me, I've done these flights a dozen times before, and I just want to get through it. So yeah. Expect things to slow down once we are done with Europe and that leg of the journey is behind us. But like I say, a few, the next dozen flights or so should be interesting, a little bit different. So let's get ourselves to Bern in Switzerland and then start the real leg of the European tour. All right, thank you. Oh, also one more thing that I need to mention. We're having trouble with the call sign being continued to be called Flawless 195 over ATC. Now, I had this issue from Vienna to Prague yesterday, where we were referred to as British Airways flight whatever, instead of being referred to as Flawless 195. I have gone into the menus. I have tried to change that back to Flawless 195. It's not having it. I've reloaded in now, and we're back to bog standard British Airways. So whether it's an update with the SIM where they've banned that feature, maybe with people were typing inappropriate things in, so that then ATC will call them inappropriate things, and so Flight Sim have caught on and gone, yeah, I tell you what, we'll bin that feature off. So whether it's to do with that, whether it's a glitch, for whatever reason, over ATC will just be referred to as British Airways. Obviously, I'll try and keep keep editing it and see if we can get it back, because it's nice to have that little bit of customization. But as of right now, we are going to be recognised and spoken to as just bog standard British Airways, which is fine. But I did like the personalisation of it being flawless 195, please descend, and whatever, but that is not a possibility at the moment. I'll try and resolve that issue as the flights wear on. But yeah, just so you know, we're having trouble with that air feature. All right, thank you. Enjoy the music. Swiss music, modern. I'm not going traditional Swiss music. I've heard enough accordions for one lifetime. All right, here we go.
British Airways IFR. We're ready to copy. It goes by in the blink of an eye. So let's all have love and day. Rays of sunlight start to feel your heart again. When you begin to believe in life. Now all that you see in it. La vie en rose. La vie en rose. Your life is what you make it. So go on and take it. La vie en rose. La vie en rose. We're better than tonight. Celebrate. You got la vie en rose. La vie en rose. Your life is what you make it. So go ahead and take it. La vie en rose. La vie en rose. We're better than tonight. Celebrate. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, it's Jason, Antoine, a weekend love. Ooh, baby, yeah. It's been a while. Hello, stranger. You look just as good as before. Didn't realize how it could have changed us. We can't live like this anymore. I know I put you through the fire. We could just leave it all behind. 'Cause if we only die tonight, then we'll take a ride.
I mean, I could be wrong, but it doesn't sound very Swiss to me, this. It's not what I expected. Well, it's a Switzerland music playlist, apparently. Well, you live and learn, don't you?
pay attention to illuminated signs and crew instructions, including the following safety procedures. The safety card found in your seat pocket contains important information about exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and the brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft. The cabin crew are now pointing out the exits nearest to you. Please be aware that your nearest usable exit may be behind you. Emergency lighting will guide you to an exit. In an emergency, leave all baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on. We recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Hold the mask in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take a life jacket from under your seat. Remove from the pouch and put it over your head.
Cruising Tower British Airways at
Pass
runway
the
24
tapes
ready
around
for
your
departure
waist
IFR to
and
Bern.
clip together. Pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate it by pulling the toggle.
Cleared for
If it
takeoff
fails to
runway
inflate
24
or
British
needs
Airways.
topping up, blow into this tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. The cabin crew can assist you with life jackets for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrests down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. Further information regarding your safety on board can be found in the in-flight magazine. We hope you have a great flight.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff.
British Airways contact Prague Center on 118.375. Good day.
Going to 118.375 British Airways. Prague Center British Airways is at 2,400 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
British Airways Prague Center altimeter 30.27 radar contact. Continue.
maintain flight level 220 British Airways.
Our love is alive. It's so we begin. Foolishly laying our hearts on the table, stumbling in. Our love is a flame, burning within. Now and then, firelight will catch us stumbling in.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick update from flight deck. It seems the autopilot has gone AWOL. Let me turn this down a little bit more, actually. Yeah, it seems the autopilot has gone absolutely AWOL. This has been something that was inevitable to happen on the world tour. In fact, I'm surprised I got 32 flights in without this happening. So apologies for the steep bank to the right. I will try and correct it once we're facing back in the right direction. There's no point in manually taking control of the plane now. For whatever reason, I don't know, it was in transition between me manually taking off and then the transition into autopilot. Oh, look how steep this bank is. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I have no idea what it's doing. I'll see. I'll give it a couple of minutes and, you know, hold on to your seats. This is a serious look at the speed as well. Yeah, it's gone completely AWOL. I'm going to have to manually take control of the plane here because look at the airspeed as well. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. No, apologies for this. Oh my goodness me. We're in dangerous territory speed-wise here. We're in dangerous territory speed-wise there. Right. Yeah, apologies for that random loop. Every now and then, you will get a autopilot brain fart, and we've just experienced one. We were at a serious 90-degree angle there and full throttle and doing 300 odd knots. Anyway, I'll try and sort it out now and test out if I put it back on autopilot to see if we can sort this out. But yeah, you know, there's going to be issues like this along the way, and I'll deal with them accordingly. Also, with regards to the music, I don't think these are Swiss. I might be wrong. I don't think it's Swiss music. Maybe it's just hits. Maybe it's just songs that are hits in Switzerland, I'm starting to think. But anyway, it is what it is. I've got bigger problems. But yeah, I will see if I can sort it back out and see if we can get this flight back on course. But yeah, you have to bear with me. All right, thank you.
Climb and maintain flight level 360 British Airways.
I'm the one counting these bands. I'm about to pop all these ends. Baby girl, take your clothes off. I'ma kick you right out of this mansion. Coming up, I never had you. Now we in St. Marines, diamonds dancing. Went to Medellin, took my chances. But I'm with a team, now we bandits. I live the wild life, yeah. My diamonds shine bright, yeah. Girl, get your mind right, yeah. Cause you stuck in the limelight, yeah. In mountain circle, popping bottles with models. Where that's one in Armando. Viva el paradiso. Whoa, eh, paradiso. So close to heaven. Whoa, eh, paradiso. So close to heaven. All of my life, all of my dreams, all in one day, up in the paradiso. All of my life, all of my dreams, all in one day, up in the paradiso. I'm so happy how we made up. We party with devils and angels. So how when we come now we raise up. We want this forever, can't fade up. Almost in heaven, we so close. So this golden essence got me so frozen. Met her rep on color Bordeaux. Yeah, she pretty, she bad, and she don't know. I live the wild life, yeah. My diamonds shine bright, yeah. Girl, get your mind right, yeah. Cause you stuck in the limelight, yeah. In mountain circle, popping bottles with models. Where that's one in Armando. Viva el paradiso. Whoa, eh, paradiso. So close to heaven. Whoa, eh, paradiso. So close to heaven. All of my life, all of my dreams, yeah. All in one day, up in the paradiso. All of my life, all of my dreams, all in one day, up in the paradiso. Big shots up in St. Tropez. We used to fly to Belize, but now we in St. Maurice. I'm with the girl of my dreams, but just in diamonds on me. And this is gone, oh, this is gonna be. Whoa, eh, paradiso. So close to heaven. Eh, paradiso. So close to heaven. All of my life, all of my dreams, all in one day, up in the paradiso. All of my life, all of my dreams, all in one day, up in the paradiso.
It only happens here in London. It only happens in London. Where the freaks come alive.
No, do you know what? Well, quick update from the flight deck. First of all, I've got the plane back under control. We've gone for autopilot again. It seems to be behaving itself now. So apologies for the loop-the-loop. Well, not that kind of loop-the-loop. We didn't go inverted, but apologies for a full 360 there. That was some serious bank. It lost the autopilot lost all sense of reality. Went full throttle, full beans, full bank, and actually it was close to probably ripping one of the wings off there. Actually, at one point, I had to manually intervene and decrease the speed rapidly because that was getting dangerous. We were in we were in a serious trouble there for about 10 seconds or so, because once you go into that yellow where you're in serious overspeed, yeah, that was touch and go for complete failure of the aircraft and our imminent doom. But anyway, Joe, what I also realised the seatbelt signs were off, so. Oh, I hope you held on to your seats. I hope you held on to them armrests. I've just got images of like feet in the air, like full side. Feet in the air across the middle of the aisle. You know what I mean? Feet like fully. I shouldn't be laughing. That was dreadful. I bet you just want me to land at the nearest airport. You know, emergency landing here at a LKPR, whatever that is. Anyway, yeah, no emergency landing. We're on our way. It's settled down. It's behaving itself for now. But anyway, what I wanted to say was I'm not feeling this music. It doesn't seem very Swiss to me. I don't know if they're Swiss artists or whether it's just that these particular dance songs were hits in Switzerland. Let me just change the. It's telling me to go to 38 instead of 39. That's absolutely fine. That's normal procedures here on Floors 195 for a change. So we'll just edit that. Yeah, not to 32, 38. So we'll edit that to 38,000 feet, which we'll get to in the next couple of minutes. And then I imagine we'll cruise for about 20 minutes or so. Maybe as long as half an hour before we have to start our descent into Bern. So yeah, slightly longer flight, like I say, maybe just over the hour mark, especially with the loop back on ourselves at some serious speed. But yeah, I'm gonna change playlist. It's not something I've done before, but I'm gonna change to let's have some proper Swiss music. Listen, this might be Swiss, but it doesn't feel like it. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it's Swiss. And so, here comes the change. All right, thank you. Let's get some real Swiss music on, why don't we?
British Airways contact Music Center on 120.65. Good day.
120.65 British Airways. Goodbye. Music Center British Airways is at flight level 360, climbing 900.
This is more like it. This is what I expected from Switzerland. Come on. Yodel your way to Bern. Let's yodel our way to Bern. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Listen, you only get it once, you know? So you've got to have that authentic experience because you only get it once.
Ein Kranz von Bergen, stolz und hoch erhoben, umringt die Heimat, mein Tiroler Land. Die Gipfel strahlen hell in ihrem Glanze und leuchten weit von steiler Felsenwand. Du bist das Land, dem ich die Treue halte, weil du so schön bist, mein Tiroler Land. Du bist das Land, dem ich die Treue halte, weil du so schön bist, mein Tiroler Land. Ein harter Kampf hat dich in zwei geschlagen, von dir gerissen wurde Südtirol. Die Tore mit den Grüßen uns von
Well, just another quick update from the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen. We seem to be having a multitude of issues today. I'm also struggling with the throttle. Usually there's a notch I can slip it into where it'll just cruise us at a set speed. That seems to not be working. Do you know they've done an update to the sim in between the flights from before the flight to Vienna to Prague? There was a big update, and things just aren't the same anymore. Things, I mean, look, the speed's reducing now. We should be settled at 263 knots, but we're not. Speed's coming down. We were going too fast a couple of minutes ago. I'll try and resolve the issue, but yeah, we've got a few issues here. I'm not liking this. I want to go back to the previous build of the sim. This is not good. When I saw the update the other day, I was thinking, oh no, everything's perfect, everything's cushy, everything's right. We're flawless 195. See, we've lost that identification as well, and you know, we're just British Airways, whatever this is. We're British Airways GBUSG. What is that? Who are we anymore? So yeah, I'll try and deal with this speed issue, but something's different, something's changed. It doesn't feel the same. All my usual procedures have gone out the window here. I'll try and deal with it on the fly, because that's what this world tour's all about. It's never going to be smooth sailing for 209 flights. You're going to get issues, but yeah, a few issues today that I will deal with. Alright, thank you. It's all good, it's all good. I'd be glad to get this down on the ground, to be honest. Anyway, we're going dangerously too slow now. Right, let me sort it out. Right, we're now approaching the speed that I set the plane to of 263 knots. It should start backing off the power automatically about now. You see where that blue arrow is there? That's where I've set the speed to. Speed's still increasing. It should be backing off the power now. It's going to smash straight through it. This is an absolute nightmare, this. Right. I'm gonna bin off the music for a while. I've got to try and sort this out. What a mix I have found here. This is Nora M. Pure, Graubünden, Switzerland. Yeah. Listen, there's a lot of issues with the plane today, but I found some good music. We've not got auto throttle. You know, the idea is I set the speed to 263 and it stays there, and that's not been the case today. I've manually adjust the throttles, which I don't even begin to think about the descent, and now I'm going to have to back off the throttle to balance it all out, and it's going to mess with the descent. But I don't want listen, how many flights is it to go? 170? I don't want 175 flights like this. I hope this is a one-time issue, because autopilot's basically non-existent today, in a nutshell. I don't know whether it's the issue at the beginning, the fact that it looped back on ourselves has messed up the whole setup, but hopefully it's a one-off. If we, you know, especially we've got some tricky legs coming up. I've got to go to Flugplatz Mollis, which is probably down there in the mountains somewhere to our left, after this. So I don't want to be messing about. I don't want things to be unpredictable. I don't want things to be unpredictable coming into Flugplatz Mollis, because it's risky enough as it is. It's a big challenge as it is, with everything being perfect. So yeah, I could do without this, to be honest. I've managed to balance the speed now at where I'd want to be, but this is not an ideal flight situation. But this mix is popping. I'll try and get us down safely and speak to you on the ground. Thank you. Yeah, so autopilot is completely non-functional in this flight today, so I'm going to have to manually start our descent and try and balance the speed out. So yeah, I'm going to put the seatbelt signs on now. So we were in for a bit of an obscure descent and landing into Bern, but we should be down the ground the next 20 minutes or so, fully manually. So enjoy the ride. Thank you.
British Airways is at 9,300 feet, climbing 14,000 feet.
Cabin crew seats for landing.
British Airways turn next taxiway. British Airways turn next taxiway. British Airways contact ground on 119.7.
119.7 British Airways. Goodbye.
Well, we're down safely. Like I say, no assistance of autopilot throughout that flight, but we are down safely. This airport feels tiny compared to the international airports that we've been flying to and from thus far in the world tour. This feels like the plane's far too big for looking at my plane thinking, you're never meant to be here, mate. But yeah, we are down. It was blustery coming in, no autopilot. I think I judged it relatively well with regards to altitude and speed and everything. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't perfect by any means, but we are down safely in Bern, Switzerland. Hopefully the autopilot works for the next leg of the journey, because I'm going to need it. We're into Flugplatz Mollis and into the Swiss mountains before taking the helicopter into Liechtenstein. So yeah, that's it for a while in terms of point A to point B, country to country. We are now in the interesting European leg of the world tour with regards to in the mountains, helicopters out, and where's this airport support vehicle going? Please don't. Where are you going? He's going that way. That'll do me. I'll just try and park up here. But yeah, we seem way too big. This is a much smaller airport than I anticipated, but we're down. that's the main thing, and hopefully, like I say, the autopilot goes back to normal for the next flights, because I'm going to need it. It starts to get really technical from here till we get to Madrid. So yeah, that being said, welcome to Belp Airport, Bern. Current time is just gone 1 p.m. I think. How long was the flight? Just over an hour and 10. I did predict something along those lines. It's about right, about an hour and 5 minutes, something like that. Current temperature 21 degrees as well. We are in a beautiful part of the world. You can see the Alps there in the background. So yeah, we're now entering a beautiful region of Europe, and yeah, it starts to get technical from here on out for the next dozen or so flights. We'd now like to ask that you please keep your seatbelt fastened until the sign switched off, and please remember to take all your belongings with you upon departing the aircraft today. If you have enjoyed flying with us, then we do recommend that you hit the like button on the screen in front of you now. And if you are getting a connecting flight to Flugplatz Mollis in the mountains, we're heading in that direction, into the mountains, then please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to receive the notification on the next flight into Mollis. With that being said, on behalf of Flawless 195 World Tour Service Crew, I'd like to wish you a pleasant onward journey and thank you for flying with us today. I've been Captain Wilson. We've had no autopilot. We've had a little loop-de-loop at the start of the flight upon transition to an autopilot that did not want to work today. Like I say, hopefully it's a one-off issue. There was an update to the sim a couple of days ago. It is playing havoc, and I am worried that things have been changed in the sim. I'll go into the options, into the menus, and make sure everything's on the settings that I had it on previously. I'm starting to think it might be a full reset in terms of settings, and autopilot has been cancelled. I'm going to reinitiate it if I can. But yeah, thank you for flying with us today. I'll find a gate, in inverted commas, and get this one parked up. But thank you for joining us, and we are down on the ground safely, by hook or by crook, by any means necessary. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Also, what a mix that was. Nora N. Pure, Graubünden, Switzerland. What a mix. Music of the tour so far. The second half of that flight, well, it might have been dodgy in terms of the descent and me trying to judge it without autopilot. We had some banging tunes. Right, catch you for the next one. Cheers.